Okay, let's unpack this. Today,
Yeah.
we're diving deep into, well, this whole dynamic world of content strategy, video production, and those foundational branding principles.
Yeah, and it's not just theory.
No, definitely not. We're bringing you insights from, a really insightful collection of sources we've curated. And we're drawing heavily on what we learned working with Eric Sadler of NVision Films, plus the wider brand identity landscape.
Right.
Our mission, really, is to give you that shortcut,
Yeah.
to being well-informed about how businesses can actually achieve predictable growth, build real trust, and stand out. Because it's crowded out there.
It really is. And what's fascinating, I think, is how these sources connect the dots. It's not just here's video, here's branding. It's about linking compelling storytelling with very specific business goals.
Tangible objective.
Exactly. We've distilled notes, guides, specific examples from NVision's approach, detailed video strategies, those powerful calls to action.
Those TTAs, yeah.
Ones that actually get clicks, and even the crucial stuff behind good logo design, which often gets missed. Totally.
It's about understanding not just what works, but why it all matters together for your brand.
Okay, so with that setup, let's start with the core philosophy. NVision Films, Eric Sadler's company.
Hmm.
They have this central belief, right, that predictable growth today isn't luck.
Not at all. It stems directly from consistent, valuable content. And video, for them, is really at the heart of it.
Their tagline kind of says it all, where story meets strategy.
It does. And that tagline is so insightful because it sets them apart straight away. It's not just about making pretty pictures.
Right, it's not just aesthetics.
No. It's ensuring every single piece of content, every frame, every word serves a specific business purpose, something measurable. Their goal is delivering clarity, hitting those emotional notes, and ultimately getting results for clients.
And Eric Sadler's role in that,
Yeah.
creative director, filmmaker, brand strategist. He's the one helping founders and agencies bring that story-driven content to life.
Precisely. He's the architect behind that vision. Okay, so we've got the why, the philosophy. Now, the big question for any business listening is, how do you do it? How do you apply this? Our sources lay out 5 core content strategies NVision pushes.
Exactly. And these are super practical, like stuff you can actually use tomorrow. First up, show what you do with before and after reels.
Ah, okay. Like the roof, for example.
Yeah, perfect example. Imagine a drone shot, right? Grimy old roof, then boom, side by side with a gleaming new one.
That visual contrast is huge.
It's everything. It taps into something fundamental, that transformation. It's not just seeing is believing. People trust that visual proof way more than you just telling them you do good work.
Makes total sense. Powerful, immediate. Okay, what's number 2?
Second, educate. Instead of just selling, this one's key. Not every post needs to scream, buy now.
Right. Provide value first.
Exactly. Position yourself as the expert. Offer quick, genuinely helpful tips. For that roofer, again, maybe a short video like 30, 60 seconds. 3 signs your roof might need replacing. Or what insurance companies don't tell you after a storm.
Yeah. That builds credibility. Makes you the go-to resource.
Totally. Over time, that trust compounds.
But, some people might worry, are they giving away the farm? If I tell them the signs, why will they call me?
That's a fair point, and it comes up. The key is you give actionable tips, but not the whole repair manual. You're showing what to look for, why it's important.
Demonstrating expertise.
Exactly, which naturally positions you as the person to solve the problem you just help them identify. It makes the sale feel well-earned, not forced.
Okay, that makes sense. Build trust first, which probably leads into the next one.
It does. Number 3, capture client testimonials. Authentic stories are basically gold. They build credibility faster than almost anything.
Because it's relatable, right? Someone like me had a good experience.
Precisely. The advice is simple. Ask happy clients. Why'd you choose us? What was it like working with us? Would you recommend the crew? Keep them short, powerful, shoot them on site, even on a phone sometimes. Authenticity matters.
Yeah, that rawness can be more believable than a slick production sometimes. Okay, what about showing the company itself?
That's number 4. Go behind the scenes, humanize the business, show the team working, talk about safety processes, show how clean the job site is left.
Maybe just friendly faces on the team?
Yes, people connect with people, not logos. People hire people. It's fundamental that behind-the-scenes stuff builds an emotional connection.
Okay, so you've got these great testimonials, before and afters, behind-the-scenes clips, organic content doing well. What's the final step?
Amplify it. Strategy 5 is turn content into ads. Don't just let your best stuff sit on your feed.
Or give it legs.
Exactly. Promote those high-performing pieces, the testimonials, the cool before and afters with targeted Facebook or Instagram ads. And you don't need a huge budget, even like 5 or 10 bucks a day.
Seriously, $5–10 a day.
Yeah, it can make a real difference in enhancing visibility, reaching new folks, and actually driving conversions. It's about being smart with what's already working.
Okay, so that covers the what to do, the strategies. But here's where it gets really interesting for me. How do you make sure that content doesn't just exist, but it engages people, makes them stop scrolling, comment, convert? NVision seems to have some specific tools for that.
Oh, they absolutely do. And a huge piece of this is mastering the call to action, the CTA. Our sources had this amazing list, like 25 scroll-stopping CTAs and comment prompts.
25. Okay, give us some examples.
So one type is micro-asks, super simple yes, no, or one-word questions. Things like, drop a thumbs up oi if you agree, or what's one word you needed to hear today?
Low barrier to entry, easy to respond.
Exactly. Low friction, sparks immediate engagement. Then there are open loops. You start a story, but you make people comment to get the ending.
Ooh, clever. Like a mini cliffhanger.
Totally. I used to struggle with X until this happened. Want to know how it ended? Curiosity is powerful. They also mentioned POV replies, responding to comments with a quick video.
Oh, I like that. Shows you're really listening and boosts the original post too, probably.
Yeah, highlights the community. Then there's debate framing. Asking those hot take questions.
Like, is this genius or totally irresponsible?
Exactly. Or creative or cringe, gets people talking, sparks discussion in the comments. And finally, things they call copy-ready closers. These are direct prompts for action. Comment ready if you want to go deeper, or send this to a friend who needs it. Maybe save this post before it disappears. Just clear next steps.
Got it. So specific CTAs are crucial, but they also have templates and frameworks to structure the content itself.
Yes, and these are super practical. Like a 3-part Instagram reel script template makes it less intimidating. It's basically hook first 3 seconds, gotta grab them. Like the #1 mistake new creators make.
Okay, hook 'em fast. Again.
Then the value, like 3 to 15 seconds, deliver the insight, the tip, the aha moment. And finally, the CTA, the last few seconds, tell them what to do or feel.
Hook, value, CTA. Simple but effective.
Very. There's also a more detailed content idea pitch template. This forces you to think about a scroll-stopping title, the hook again, the main value or takeaway, and a clear CTA or payoff. It's about being intentional from the start.
And what about launching something, like a new series or offer? They have a plan for building buzz.
Yeah, the 7-day launch plan framework. This is all about building momentum strategically before a big push. It's not just random posts.
So it's structured,
Right.
like daily themes.
Exactly. Day 1 might be your origin story builds connection. Day 2, maybe hit an audience pain point, then offer a quick win, show behind the scenes, bust a myth. Then comes the actual CTA or offer, maybe end with a vision statement.
So each day builds on the last, leading up to the launch.
Right. The core idea is strategy first, not trend first. Build a narrative.
Okay, strategy, engagement tactics.
Yeah.
Check. But now the actual production, getting these stories on screen, looking and sounding good, that seems like a whole other beast. How does that vision actually come to life?
It is a beast. And NVision breaks it down into 3 main phases. They really emphasize that pre-production is where the real work starts. Their mantra is clarity before camera.
Clarity before camera. I like that. So what does that involve?
It means nailing down the story and message first. Who's the audience? What's the core message? And, crucially, why now? Why this message at this time? Then you create a creative vision sheet pick, like 3 descriptive words, define the tone, find visual inspiration.
So you know the feel you're going for.
Precisely. And then the practical stuff. A shot list and script outline. What exactly are we filming? Talking heads, interviews, B-roll.
Let's B-roll again, exactly.
Well, B-roll is all that supplementary footage, like shots of the environment, hands working, close-ups on details. It adds visual interest and helps with editing transitions. It's not the main interview, but it makes the video flow.
Gotcha. So pre-production is planning everything meticulously. Checklists for location, gear, schedule, talent, crew, permits.
Everything. Because missing one thing, like you said, a permit or the right lens, can just derail the whole shoot, waste time, waste money.
Okay, so plan. Then comes the actual shoot day.
Yeah.
Production. How do they ensure it's shoot with purpose, not panic?
Good crew, good process. Typically a small crew, 1 to 3 people, maybe a director, a DP, director of photography, an assistant. Lighting is critical, usually a 3-point setup minimum. And audio can't be an afterthought. Bad audio kills good video.
So true. What's the flow like on set?
It's structured, maybe full song playthroughs if it's a music video, for context, then verse-specific shots, isolating key moments, and dedicated time just for capturing that B-roll.
And someone's constantly checking things.
Constantly. On-set monitoring is huge, checking lighting, audio levels, focus, framing, what's in the background, is the talent's hair okay, are they keeping their energy up? It's about catching problems before they become problems in the edit.
Makes sense. Capture it right the first time. Okay, footage is captured. Then what? The magic of post-production.
Exactly, where the story comes to life. They give typical timelines, maybe a rough cut in 7 to 14 days.
Okay, pretty quick turnaround.
Yeah, and then revisions, usually within 48 hours. Clients need to have their stuff ready, raw files, logos, importantly in PNG or vector format, brand visuals, specific fonts.
Vector logos. We'll probably get to why that's important later.
We will, but a huge part of post, something they really stress, is content reuse. Maximize that footage.
How so?
Take that longer video, a brand story, a testimonial, and chop it up. Create reels, stories, YouTube shorts. Pull great-looking stills for thumbnails or social posts. Use behind-the-scenes clips. Turn those powerful testimonial sound bites into ads.
That's it. One shoot generates tons of content.
Exponential value. That's the goal. Don't just make one video. Create a content ecosystem from that shoot.
Smart. Very efficient. Okay, so shifting gears slightly, but it's all connected. Our sources really hammer home that beyond the content, the fundamental brand identity is crucial. Which brings us to the logo.
Yeah.
Seems simple, but how does it fit into this bigger picture?
It's absolutely fundamental and way more than just a simple picture, like you said. The sources frame a logo as a real investment. It's like a flag around which you, your staff, your customers can rally.
A rallying point. Interesting.
Yeah. And in today's, cluttered visual space, it's critical for recognition. It has to grab attention in a nanosecond.
A nanosecond. Wow.
And a well-done logo instantly signals professionalism, attention to detail. It implies you care about your work overall. Think about it. That logo might be the very first impression someone has. In that split second, it's making a promise or maybe a warning about quality.
That's a powerful way to think about it. Not just decoration, but a trust signal.
The fastest trust signal you have, potentially.
So when does a business really need one? When is it non-negotiable?
Well, if you have growth aspirations, definitely. If you're competing in a crowded market, absolutely. If you need to, as one source put it, steal business from established players, you need that clear identity. Or if you just need to grab attention quickly.
And when might it be less critical?
Maybe if you're truly just moonlighting, super small scale, only getting clients via direct word of mouth, the immediate need might be lower. But for most businesses aiming to grow, it's essential.
Okay. And there are pitfalls, right? Things to absolutely avoid when getting a logo designed. Seems like shortcuts can backfire badly here.
Oh, big time. The sources warn strongly against DIY software or those template sites. You often end up with something generic, maybe not even legally trademarkable, and technically flawed, like pixel-based designs that look awful when you try to enlarge them.
Right. The scalability issue. What else?
Those logo design contests, often problematic. You might get tons of concepts, but many are from inexperienced designers, sometimes recycled ideas, and you can run into legal issues over who actually owns the final design.
Hadn't thought about the legal risks.
Yeah. And then just going for bargain basement pricing. You usually get what you pay for compromises on skill, originality, and getting the right technical file formats. Also, avoiding anything too complex or overly trendy is smart. Trends fade and your logo becomes dated fast.
So avoid the cheap fixes, the contests, the trendy stuff. What makes a great logo then? What are the qualities to look for?
Great logos nail both the concept and the execution. It needs to be unique, feel timeless, or at least have longevity and be free of gimmicks. Adaptability and scalability are huge. Think. Does it work tiny, like on a pen, and huge, like on a billboard?
Postage stamp to billboard test. Okay.
Simplicity is often key for impact and memorability. And critically, does it work effectively in just black and white? If a logo relies solely on color to work, it's probably not strong enough conceptually.
Black and white test. That's a good one. Okay, and the technical side. File formats, printing stuff. This is where non-designers like me get lost.
Yeah, this is super important but often overlooked. You absolutely need vector-based files formats like EPS or AI. Think of these as instructions using math, not pixels. That means you can scale them infinitely, make them huge, and they stay perfectly sharp.
Okay, vector for scalability. versus,
Versus pixel-based formats like JPG or PNG. These are made of tiny squares, pixels, great for screens, websites, but try to blow up a small JPG for a banner. It gets blurry, jagged, pixelated.
got it, vector for print and large-scale pixel for web. What about printing colors, spot versus four-color?
Right. Spot color uses specific pre-mixed inks, like Pantone colors. It's great for exact color matching and can be cheaper for simple jobs, like one or two specific colors on a business card. Four-color process, or CMYK, mixes cyan, magenta, yellow, and black inks on the press to create a whole spectrum of colors. It's necessary for photos or complex graphics, but color matching can be trickier, and it's generally more complex printing. Knowing the difference helps manage costs and expectations.
Okay, that clarifies a lot. Vector files, CMYK versus spot. Crucial details.
Absolutely crucial. So if we kind of tie this all together, the big picture here is that a really successful brand, it isn't just about, some nice videos over here and a decent logo over there.
It's not siloed.
No, not at all. It's about a cohesive, thought-out strategic system. Every visual, every message, every piece of content needs to serve a purpose. It all works together to build genuine trust, get your message heard, and achieve that visibility you need.
Precisely. So we've really explored NVision Films' holistic view, their approach to cinematic video, the smart content systems, and how that connects to the fundamental principles of a strong brand identity, like that logo. You should now have a much clearer picture of how story, strategy, and that sharp visual execution all combine to build trust and actually drive growth. We pulled heavily from Eric Sattler's expertise and that broader branding knowledge.
It all interconnects.
It really does. So thinking about all this, maybe the question for you listening is, what's one area of your own brand story, now that you have this strategic lens, that you feel ready to amplify? Where can you apply some of this thinking right now?